Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reviews. Bailey, the always reincarnating pooch of A Dog's Purpose, returns for another tale as he tries to help his owner's granddaughter. This is A Dog's Journey. The first movie was a rather sentimental story, with a central gimmick that definitely sought to get the audience to cry. I thought it was a harmless little film. The sequel is similarly harmless, and its heart is ultimately in the right place, even if the execution could have been a little better. The main intent of these films is primarily an excuse to look at some cute dogs doing their thing. And yes, they are sweet and well-trained dogs. The human actors give good performances for the most part, and I bought the bond that Dennis Quaid's Ethan and eventually Catherine Prescott's CJ had with Bailey in his various incarnations. Some scenes do work in hitting the emotional sweet spot, while other parts fall into corniness. Josh Gad's voice work as Bailey can throw in a few funny lines, but there were definitely those moments when I just wanted him to shut up, as the script feels the need to have him say things when it's not necessary, as he does state the obvious quite a few times. The mother character who separates her daughter from Ethan and his wife is written and performed in the most one-dimensional and broad way possible, as the filmmakers try very hard to make her unlikable. The most curious part about A Dog's Journey is how many years it spans. There's about 20 or so years we see unfold on screen as the dog is reincarnated and keeps getting reunited with CJ. And yet, impressively, things like technology and cars stay exactly the same. So keep holding on to your iPhone because it's still going to be usable in 2039. All joking aside, it's an okay viewing. You get to look at some cute dogs doing humorous things, the movie's heart is in the right place, and it's ultimately a harmless family film with nothing to offend anyone. Next up, Amy Poehler and her friends take a trip to the wine vineyards of California in the Netflix comedy Wine Country. I think Amy Poehler is very funny, and she was especially good on Parks and Recreation, so it gives me no pleasure to say I really did not like Wine Country, which she not only starred in, but also directed. Despite the comedic talent involved in this movie, it just never seems to find that comedic momentum. There's no real story here, as it mostly consists of these women drunkenly going from one location to the next, where they sort of ramble on about whatever topic is on their minds. Are these conversations funny? Not really, and the looseness of the film leads to it feeling very stretched out and the pacing becoming off. There were points where I just kept checking how much of the runtime was left because it felt so aimless. Through a lot of it, we don't really get too much insight into these women and who they are. Amy Poehler is a bit of a control freak, Maya Rudolph has multiple children and is a little eccentric, Paula Pell is the lesbian, Anna Guster is the workaholic, Rachel Dratch is turning 50, and Emily Spivey exists. That's the extent of what we know about them through most of the runtime. Only near the end does Wine Country truly delve into them, but it's too little too late. There is one somewhat inspired scene in an art gallery, but I really struggled to find something funny here. Even Jason Schwartzman and Tina Fey showing up for small appearances could not muster a smile from me. Maybe if I was a wine connoisseur, I would understand more of the humor, but my lack of wine knowledge never stopped me from enjoying Sideways. Wine Country is on Netflix, so go ahead and check it out and form your own opinion. But for me, I was bored through most of it, and that's disappointing considering the talent behind this film. Thank you for watching this week's reviews, and I'll see you next time.